Welcome aboard. Trading is a form of combat. At the end of the day, there is a winner and there's a loser, and I plan on being on the right side of that trade. Okay, who said that? You. And it's going to be by the end of this presentation, because if you think about it, trading's technically binary. Somebody wins, and there's a buyer, there's a seller, and one of those people is going to be right. Okay? So, as Reed said, my name is Matthew Buckley. You can call me Whiz for the rest of our time together. That's not my God-given name, obviously, or my parents. My parents did, in fact, love me. That is the call sign I earned flying the Hornet for the United States Navy. Graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which many of you know as Top Gun, and I flew 44 combat sorties over southern Iraq. After that, I became an executive consultant to Fortune 500 companies literally around the globe, speaking to companies from Fidelity to Bank of America to Macquarie to National Oil Well Varco to GM, Panasonic, Gilead. You name it, I've worked in that sector, in that industry. What's that have to do with trading? Absolutely everything. As a young lieutenant flying the F-18 for the United States Navy, I taught myself how to trade. Well, I started trading, mutual funds and stocks with USAA. I remember getting commissioned an officer in the Navy, becoming a USAA member, and buying my first mutual fund. I thought I was going to be Gordon Gekko here. And then as time went on, I moved into stocks. So my first two stocks, my wife, she, I think, kept Ann Taylor in business and used my American Express card like it was on fire. So those were the first two stocks, and they actually made me a little bit of money over a couple years. So after that, a buddy of mine taught me about options, and I never looked back. So I applied everything that I was learning flying fighters, having a strategy, employing tactics, contingency planning, knowing when to get out of a bad situation before it gets worse. All those military methodologies to my options trading, and it worked extremely well. As I said, some of the companies that I worked with, and a lot of you sitting here going, well, what's this have to do with options trading? Well, guess what, folks? Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all these companies have analysts whose job it is to know everything physically possible about these companies, or how much they can publicly get their hands on. Now, before any attorneys in the room, or anybody from the SEC's head falls off, I'm a fiduciary with these companies. I don't trade in these names. I don't tell my subscribers anything about what's going on in these companies, because when I work with them, I send them about a 25-page briefing document. Who are your competitors? What's your threat? What's your strategy? How do you contingency plan? What are your next opportunities? So when I speak to them for an hour, hour and a half keynote, it sounds like I have people who come up to me afterwards. They're like, how long have you been at Cargill? I'm like, I don't work for Cargill. I actually just do my intelligence gathering. But what this does, folks, is it helps the options traders at Top Gun Options. I give them what's going on in these sectors before any analyst knows about it, and more importantly to many of you, since I know a lot of you get your financial news from Comedy Central, from CNBC, I call it Comedy Central. It's by the time you hear anything about any company, it's already old, folks. So that's one of the benefits that folks get here at Top Gun Options. I eventually popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms in the world, Peak 6 Investments. It's right there in the Board of Trade. All those big vertical windows. That is their trading floor. Beautiful space. Started a hedge fund when I was a managing director of strategy for Peak 6. We started a hedge fund. I helped build Options House, which is a retail broker some of you might use. So I helped build Options House during my time there. And I got to be honest with you, coming from the military and doing my own trading and speaking, I felt like I was Valentine in trading places, running this place. It was just completely fish out of water, but it made sense. I thought these people on Wall Street were going to teach me something, and it was actually the other way around. All these military methodologies that I started Top Gun Options with fit in perfectly on Wall Street, especially the risk management. So that's me, $2.5 billion vol arb firm that I ran. I was also the founder and CEO of the Options News Network. Many of you heard of ONN.TV. We went from essentially me being the founder and CEO one day with a piece of paper to about 80,000 traders and investors in a year. We did about 8 or 9 programs a day. I hosted 3 of them, I think, 3 or 4 of them, from the floor of the SIBO, and one of the shows was the Options Cocktail, and we shot it in a trader bar, which is always really cool every Friday. And then my most important job, folks, is to be the father of 3 beautiful kids down here in South Florida. Okay, enough about all that stuff. That's me. Let's get airborne. Top Gun Options, 6 years of service. I don't train or I don't educate people at all, period. The world's full of educated derelicts. Fighter pilots are trained, doctors are trained, traders are trained, plumbers are trained. Training gives you a skill. Education makes you go run into a safe space and suck your thumb and look for your liberal professor. That's not us here at TGO. I'm going to train you. I'm going to give you a skill, how to trade options, and we're going to take a look at a trade here live in the market in a couple minutes. Thousands of traders and investors of all skill levels with these combat-tested, Wall Street proven methodologies, and we use a demo-do approach. I'm going to demonstrate something today. Here's me putting on a bull put spread, and then you can go do. Demo do. You don't learn just by reading a book, okay? Quick performance. Here's the average hedge fund year to date. They're down about 0.5%, and in the past 4.5 years, the best performance was 2013, just over 11% return. Okay. How we doing? Well, the portfolio you're going to take a look at today, up about what's that? 27 grand, 102% return on risk. That's a hell of a return there. With options, you can do you can see outsized returns compared to stocks. Okay. So just wanted to give you a quick review of our performance and the portfolio you're going to see today. My methodology is simple. It ain't rocket surgery. Thank God for the Navy and the military, and they taught me a little bit. It's called SOT, Strategic, Operational, Tactical. What's that mean? The average retail, I know Reed gets thousands upon thousands of traders and investors in for these events, which is awesome. I will tell you that about 98% of you are very, very tactical traders. You don't know what you're trading, before lunch, let alone 2 years from now, out to January of 2018. I do. Okay, that's you're very tactical. You wake up, grab your coffee, sit there in your bunny slippers, watch CNBC and go, wow, that guy's kind of handsome. He's got a good suit on. He's talking about Tesla. Okay, I'll go long Tesla. 2 weeks later, you're broke. Dumb. Don't do it. Here's what we do. We go SOT. We go down. So in our live trade briefs, we have about 4 or 5 of them throughout the week where you log in just on this GoToWebinar platform just like this, and you're going to watch me trade. I'm going to give you a strategic brief, about a 15-minute strategic brief. What's going on in China with the GDP, retail sales, fixed asset investments, industrial production. What's the People's Bank of China doing with the yuan? How about Governor Kuroda, Bank of Japan, Governor Kuroda, and Prime Minister Abe in Japan? What's going on over there? What's Putin doing over in Russia? How about the Middle East? What's the price of oil? You need to have these strategic things in mind, because how many times have you woken up one day and the futures are down triple digits and you're like, what the hell's Crimea? Or are you kidding me? The Russians shot down an airliner? I mean, you need to know what's going on literally around the globe. You're going to be an admiral at Top Gun Options, or a general if you want to be, and I'm going to give you a brief like I used to as a young junior officer, because you need to see the entire battlefield. Then we can get operational, ladies and gentlemen. Then we can talk about the United States, what's going on with the futures, where's Ms. Yellen? Let's play Where's Waldo with Where's Miss Yellen? Now she's speaking at Radcliffe tomorrow. A couple Fed lieutenants spoke this week. Core durable goods orders and regular durable goods orders today. Housing numbers, what were those looking like? Unemployment numbers. So I give us an operational brief. So we kind of start peeling back the onion. Strategic, operational. Now what do? We can get tactical, and we can trade. Most of you just X out the top of that pyramid. You're just waking up and trading, and you have no other intelligence out there, which is how you get killed. It's stupid to me, because, again, folks, trading is a form of combat. In combat, we want to use as many intelligence assets, take a look at as many things as we can that are going on the battlefield. We use capital in combat. Unfortunately, it's human capital, our young sons and daughters here. There's just so many similarities. Why wouldn't you use the same methodologies that if I gooned up, I didn't come home that night, right? And I know people sit there like, well, come on, Wiz, at the end of the day, if I have a bad trade, I get to go home. Exactly. But if at least you can apply some of these methodologies, I guarantee you, you're going to go home a hell of a lot happier more often than not. Just have a little bit of this ethos that, yeah, Trading's a form of combat because at the end of the day, folks, Wall Street's not going to take it easy on you because you're Joe the retail trader. Like, Wall Street doesn't hate me. They do. Trust me, it's a joke. They use you as cordwood, okay? Liquidity, your liquidity. Matter of fact, it's so funny, I'd work out almost every day during lunch because that's retail trader hour, right? You guys are on a lunch break, you guys go trade. And the guys that sit around, they're like, time to shoot fish in a barrel. That's what they think of you. Take a, I'm pretty sure on your GoToWebinar platform, your little screen there in the top right, there's a camera-looking thing. You can take a screenshot of this, and I want you to take a screenshot of it so you can print it out and keep it. Whether or not you hang out with us here at TGO or not, everybody tells me, Whiz, I always hear from people that I'm supposed to have a trade plan, trade plan, trade plan, trade plan. And then what do? They walk away. Exactly. Here's your trade plan. And we're going to go through each one of these steps. 7 steps, then I'm going to jump in the market real quick and put a trade on using it, okay? Strategic mindset, target, commit criteria, tactic, tactical employment, mid-course guidance, exit plan. Strategic mindset. This is easy. What are you? At a high level, determine your strategic mindset. Bullish, bearish, you think the market's going to be volatile all over the place, or you think it's going to chop around neutral. And you can have variations. My strategic mindset right now is cautiously bullish. We were market neutral about 2 weeks ago as we kind of drifted down through that 50-day. We'll take a look at it. And then all of a sudden got a little airspeed towards the 50-day to the upside. I'm like, that's it. Put your rally cap on, and here we go. Now we're heading up. But I'm cautiously bullish because I'm an options trader and a former fighter pilot. That means I have one hand on the ejection handle at all times. I'm always looking for the exit because when, not if, when this market turns, it's going to be violent and it's going to be ugly. And Carl, like, you know, I don't want to sound like the crazy guy on the exit ramp of I-95 with the tinfoil hat, but kind of like Carl Icahn said, the day of reckoning it's coming. It's close. Can't pick today or I'd be Nostradamus, but it's a coming. Step 2, target. This is simply the stock, the ETF, or the index. I prefer to trade the indices over an ETF, if there is one, for tax purposes. And you can Google that and look it up because I'm not your tax attorney or accountant. Step 3, commit criteria. Okay, this is where you need to sit up in your chair and actually listen, if you haven't been. Why are you committing capital to this trade? Why are you in this trade? Literally. I don't know how many times I bump into a retail trade. I tell my traders, hey, you know, I actually am going to be in Dallas in a week and a half, giving a couple speeches. So if we can have a beer or hang out. How many times I bump into a trade? Oh, I'm a trader. Oh yeah, what are you in? Apple. I have this trade on Apple on right now. Awesome. Why? And I always get this dumb look on their face. I'm like, why are you in this Apple trade? I have an iPhone. Aha. Like, that's the dumbest reason I've heard to be in a trade. If you can't, in 3 to 5 sentences, rattle off why you are committing capital to this trade, why are you in it? You should not be in it. If we bump into each other at a cocktail party and you say, hey, I'm in an Apple trade, and I go, why? You should be able to hit me with 3 to 5 sentences, and after you go, period, after your last word, I should look at you and go, oh my God, I am getting in that trade tomorrow. I challenge you to do this. A lot of folks do this, and I get emails after webinars like this because I challenge you to go into your portfolio after all the presentations are done today or tomorrow and look at each position and see if you can rattle off 3 to 5 sentences immediately. Go. And if you can't, you're in trouble. It's so funny. And here's the biggest part of the commit criteria. If at any point during the life of a trade those sentences change, they're no longer valid, why are you in the trade? This is where the hope comes in with you guys, right? Oh, Apple doesn't hate me. It's going to come back. I know it's against me right now, but now, come on. It's Apple. And Apple and me. Apple doesn't care who you are, know who you are. They'd steamroll over your house. Get out of the damn trade. Either adjust the trade if it's going against you or get out of it. Eject. Period. Commit criteria is huge, folks. Tactic. I'm going to change. If you're an options trader, you're done calling an iron condor an option strategy. It isn't. All right, this guy lost me. Yeah, it is. No, it isn't. It is a tactic. A strategy is high level. It's saving for college, short-term income generation, buying a boat in 6 months, risk management. Those, folks, are strategies. An iron condor, a bull put spread, covered calls, cash secured put. Those are tactics. Got it? Strategy, win the war against ISIL. Tactic, take over the town of Fallujah here, so it's a, it's a ISIL stronghold. Exactly. Okay. How do you select your tactic? Well, duh, we already have our strategic mindset, cautiously bullish, and our commit criteria, why we're putting money into Facebook. I'm going to put a bull put spread on Facebook here in a couple minutes. Okay? Thanks, Johnny. If you're sitting here going, what the hell's an option? If you know that buying a call means you're bullish, I want it to go up. Buying a put means you're bearish, I want it to go down. Then you're good. I can teach you, and we can go from there, okay? So you're looking good. Step 5, tactical employment. This is simply the trade details, the individual legs, okay? If it's an iron condor, it's a bear call spread, a bull put spread. How are we going to employ this trade? And then I also send out with my alert the range from mid-market I'm going to try and get filled on. I sent out a bull put spread alert about an hour and a half ago, 25-cent credit, and I said plus or minus 3 cents, meaning I'll go up to 28 or down to 22. Okay, so that's what that means, plus or minus from mid-market. Step 6, mid-course guidance. This is our trade management. This is where we contingency plan. We ask what if. What if Apple goes up? What if Apple goes down? What's our adjust criteria? How many, I'll talk to that person who's like, oh, this Apple trade's going against me. I'm like, okay, when you going to adjust it? I don't know, what do you think? I'm like, oh man, you should have all of these decisions made right now before you ever get into a trade. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not decide what I'm going to do if I get shot at by a missile over Syria when I get shot at by a missile over Syria. It's too late. That's when I already start executing what I decided to do when I was sitting back on the ship, sipping on a Diet Coke in the air conditioning. Otherwise, you make mistakes. You get emotional. This is where many of you are holding on to a losing trade going, yeah, I don't know what to do. Get rid of it. Do something. Make the decision well before you're in the trade. That takes the emotion out. Look at the top of the slide. It says discipline. That's where the discipline comes from. If the jet is doing this, I have 2 engine fire lights on, there's smoke in the cockpit, and my wingman's yelling at me that I'm on fire. That's not the time for me to go, I think I can save the plane, and then I disintegrate. That's when I eject. Step 7, this is our Colin Powell step. When you hit your profit, get out, right? Remember Bush said, hey, get the Iraqis out of Kuwait. He's like, I can do that. When do we declare victory? Before I even send one boot on the ground, how do we know we've declared victory? So when we hit that, we're out, okay? We hit our profit objective, get out. How many of you have been in a credit spread, like a bull put spread, right? And you look at it and you're like, yeah, it's up 80%, that's awesome. There's $300 to go in it, and I got about 4 days. Great, another 4 days, I'll earn another $300. I'll just let it, quote, expire worthless. The most dreaded words a retail trader can ever say is, I'll just let it expire worthless. And you wake up the next day and on Comedy Central, the CFO's on a private jet with all the company's money to the islands, right? Anybody let that happen? And you turn an 80% winning trade into a 100% losing trade. Don't do it. Same thing with your max acceptable loss. When you hit it, get out. Well, what if it comes back by expiration? What if it gets worse? And now you lose more money. Get out. It's not easy, I understand, but after you put this ethos inside you, you will. Okay? We want to live to fight another day. If it's a bad trade, get out of the airplane and live to fight another day. That's what we want to do. Okay? It sounds common sense to me, but it's to a lot of people, common sense isn't so common, right? we want to live to fight another day. These are the areas. Write these down real quick, and then I want to get into my trade. I'm not going to have time to do really a big strategic and operational brief. I'm probably just going to have to get tactical here. But if you sign up with Top Gun Options, every one of our live trading sessions, we do our strategic brief, operational, then we get tactical, look at the current trades in the portfolios, and then add some new ones. Okay. T in 2016 stands for terrorism. Whether it's Paris, Belgium, or here in the United States, a terrorist attack obviously can move the market. Oh, oil. We just broke 50 bucks today for the, what was it, first time in 7 months or something like that. And unless you've been living on the other side of the moon, you know that oil's been driving the markets around. Back in January, February, there was about a 90% correlation between oil and the markets. Oil up, oil down, market down. And we ditched that for about 2 months, and now it seems like it's swinging back around a little bit where we're caring about what oil's doing. F is the Fed, obviously. When interest rates are high, stocks will die. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. So obviously the stock market is kind of looking with a nervous eye to the potential specter of rising interest rates. Well, guess what? We had a temper tantrum last week, and then we kind of shook it off, right? We had a couple Fed lieutenants who both looked at each other like, what the hell's the market thinking? Of course we might raise in June. And the market was like, that's news to us, and we freaked out. Now we're starting to understand that, you know what, it's just a matter of when, not if, the Fed's going to raise interest rates. So let's just, everybody get on board right now for the big win. Okay? E is Europe. Okay, Europe, Mario Draghi and the ECB, he's doing his own form of quantitative easing. They got negative interest rates. He's buying bonds. A lot of stuff over in Europe. We got the Brexit coming up potentially. I think they're most likely going to stay, just looking at current polls. Who knows? A is Asia. Folks, China owns us, literally. Thank you, Mr. President. But if they wanted to margin call, if they wanted their debt back, we'd be. I'm buddies with Rick Santelli years ago. I'd say, hey Rick, what if nobody shows up today? You know, because he does the bond offering and how it went and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's like, Whiz, that's my nightmare, man. We want to sell our debt and nobody wants to buy it. So Asia, China is even though they were in the nosedive and pulled out and they're skimming along the treetops right now, they're going to get airborne again. China's in this for the long haul. We're in it for the next 5 minutes. We have such a short attention span in our markets, it's stupid. China, slow and steady wins the race. We're going to put some market reforms in and relax. Yeah, but the market wants this, that, and the other thing. It wants more. Give us more. We're hanging out. We put in a course correction. It's like a super tanker doing 30 knots, and they throw the rudder in one direction. It's going to take a while for that thing to turn. It will. R is Russia. Now, I wear 2 suits at Top Gun Options. I used to wear a flight suit, and me saying be bullish on Russia makes me want to, jump off my balcony here. But then the other suit that I wear is Gordon Gekko. My Gordon Gekko suit says you have to be bullish on a guy who's going to do whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't care what Obama thinks. He literally laughs at the guy, right? He's a guy out shooting bears, bare-chested, with a shotgun, and Obama's riding around the Hamptons with a bike helmet on. Love that picture. So you got to keep an eye on Russia. Yeah, oil throws them around a little bit in the ruble, but that we could talk about that. But that's a good acronym, folks, to think about as we're in 2016 here, is to fear 2016. So like I said, I really don't have too much time to do that much of a strategic brief, so I will tell you that the market is starting to wake up to a interest rate increase, and we're okay with it. Not going to be super happy, but we're going to be okay with it. Oil prices, like I said, at 50. Durable goods weren't that good, to be honest with you. We had some weak macroeconomic data as well earlier in the week, but we had good home sales numbers, which is funny. This triple-digit rally in the Dow the other day, when the market's just bullish and guys are buying, and gals, it's so stupid to watch Comedy Central search. They always try and search for a reason and try and make one up and fit a square peg in a round hole. We all laugh sometimes. We're like, those housing numbers did not make the market, the Dow go up 250 points. That's stupid. But somebody typed it into a teleprompter. I know for a fact, durable goods report shows businesses still worrying on CapEx. I know for a fact the economy sucks. And I'm talking to people on Wall Street, Main Street. So it's not news to you, is it? Whiz, I live on Main Street and I know things suck out here. Exactly. I work with all those companies, folks. The Dallas company is one of the largest power companies in the world that I'm working with that week. They're like, it's awful. I've not spoke with a company this year, and I spoke to about 35, 40 companies where they're singing zippity-doo-dah. So the cheerleaders on CNBC are cracking me up. Just because the market is up here doesn't mean the economy is good. Two separate, completely separate entities, right? The market versus the economy, and it's just not good at all. Let me look at something here. PCL. Okay. And this was interesting months ago. Who was his name? Former Fisher. I think Fisher was in Dallas. You ready for this? We front-loaded a tremendous market rally, and there's no ammo left. So he's a Fed guy. He was on here like in confession, going, yeah, what the Fed did, and I was part of it, was front-load an enormous rally in order to create a wealth effect. And an uncomfortable digestion period is likely now. The Fed is a giant weapon that has no ammo left. So again, ladies and gentlemen, cautiously bullish means I'm bullish, but I'm cautious. We're also up at record highs here. We could just as easily have one of these like, yay, we climbed the rope in gym class and touched the ceiling, got dust on our fingers, and we're going down. But short term, I think this rally holds a little bit. If we do give some back, this is kind of I'm not going to say a gap. This is a rip your face off rally. I think we might give half of this back down to about 2070-ish. But I don't think we're going to head back down through the 50-day moving average. Okay, that was way quick. I want to take a look at a trade on Facebook. Since I am cautiously bullish, let's go to Facebook here. I have a Facebook page for Top Gun Options. I took my personal one down like years ago because it was a pain in the you-know-what. But I will tell you that I love Facebook for a couple reasons. My strategic mindset, cautiously bullish, target Facebook commit criteria. Facebook has finally figured out, took them long enough, how to monetize all the eyeballs that they have. Their ad software, I know from personal experience, I don't think my techie meant to tell me this, and after he told me, he was like, oh, that wasn't smart. He's like, the ads that you used to have me do would take 20 hours on average. Now they take 20 minutes. He screen shared and showed me. I don't know whether to be creeped. I'm happy as a business owner, but I'm kind of creeped out as a human. This thing was like the machines have become self-aware. It was thinking in front of us on how to optimize and test, and it would fire one. I'm like, it was like war games as it was going through at the end there, the computer, and crazy about how they've optimized. Great earnings report and nice pop. Here's half the pop. When you see a gap like that on earnings, sometimes the stock retreats to about half the gap, and if it holds it and goes up, it's very bullish. Obviously, if it gives some of it back and doesn't hold it, it's bearish. This is what you want to see out of a stock after a gap up. Gap up, and then up, even more. Yeah, it gave a little back with the market pulling back a little bit, but it's hit a low of 116. and I like the ones, and I like 117 right here actually. So I think it goes up. So there's kind of my commit criteria. The tactic I want to show you is just simply a bull put spread. So you see this trade right here. I have a bull put spread. I'll cancel it for a second because I want to show you here's what I do. As soon as in my live trading sessions or in my alert services, I identify a trade, we send out, let me scroll down here. Look at this, today at 11:02 I said what? It was a text alert, and here's the alert. Urgent alert, new Facebook bull put spread, 75 contracts, blah, 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 blah. I send that out immediately. We're in a live trading session right now, technically. So what I do after I show you the trade I trade you, I'd stop, even with the current subscribers in here, and I blast it out to everybody. Okay? And then what do I do 15 minutes later? I send out an alert with the trade blown out, meaning, hey, here's the, here's what it looks like. Buy these, sell these. Here's the metrics. Boom, boom, boom. So they got that. They get a text alert. They get the screenshot, and then they also get a video that I have to post on the member page here. Okay, that's for the non-live trading folks. Isn't that awesome? You get a text alert, an email, and these guys got a 23-minute video on me explaining how this trade works. You guys are going to get a little less than that for the sake of time, but I just wanted to show you what we get in the service here. So I canceled it. Okay, so I'm going to click copy. Now, let's go to edit legs. So I said I liked the 117, and I went out 2 weeks. Okay, this doesn't expire next Friday. Went out 2 weeks. Why? Anything more than 2 weeks, in my opinion, in this market that is moving this all over the place is a little too far out for me. I trade weekly options in one of the services you can sign up for, and we actually, let me show you if any of you guys would have liked, oh man, I got filled on it. See this Facebook trade right here? This was a bull put spread, a weekly options trade that expires tomorrow. It was up 92%, $1,800. So my weekly options subscribers, I sent this out on Monday. I did it in our live trading session. They made $1,800. See, I'm the type of guy that closes trades at a 92% victory. There's $200 left in that, Whiz. I'm sure by, tomorrow it still would have stayed above 115. I don't care. You might be right 80% of the time and collect that little $100 to $200 remaining $300. But the one time you're wrong and you wake up in Zuckerberg's, on an airplane with all the Facebook cash to an island and the stock is down 50 points, you're going to wipe out all those little $200, $300, $400 gains with a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 loss. Don't do it. Pigs get slaughtered, I'm telling you. Oops, that's China. Let's go back to our Facebook trade. So here's our trade. Edit legs. I'm going to sell 75. Why 75, Whiz? Give me 2 minutes. Sell 75 of next Friday, following Fridays, 117 puts. That's me saying, hey, I don't think Facebook's going below 117 by that expiration. In case it does, I'm going to be long the 116 puts. Okay, so that's where our bleeding stops, below 116. Here's why I like credit spreads like this or bull put spreads. This trade makes money 3 ways. If you're a stock trader, you do the what? The buy, hope, and pray. That's the 3 ways your trade makes money, not me. Facebook is right here. It's the blue line. Facebook can go up in value, which is great. It can stay where it is, which is fine with me too. Remember this saying, unched on the day equals time decay, unchanged. If you're unchanged on the day, you get time decay. Okay? Unched on the day equals time decay. So right, kind of remember that one. Okay. Or look, it can even go down a little bit. As long as it stays above our break even, this trade makes money. Okay. And then, so that's I take a screenshot right now. I'm going to click create order. I'm going to go to mid-market on the trade here. I'm going to click Analyze right here, and then I'm going to give you a really bad visual. I'm I'm going to turn into a Catholic nun, Sister Mary Matthew. That's a little gross. Why? Because I want you to look at one place and one place only. I want you to look at the sad face right here, max potential loss. If you didn't, crack your knuckles. Max potential loss is $5,600. That's based on 75 contracts. I'm okay with that. Why? I'm going to teach you to have an SOP, standard operating procedure. One of my SOPs says I don't want to risk more than $5,000 on any one trade. Why? Because I want to live to fight another day, and my model portfolio is based on $100,000. $5 grand. That's a little north of that. I'm okay. I'm the damn pilot in command, and I can do what I want to do. Now, well, why'd you look there first, Whiz? I look at Happy Guy. I want to make $1,900 in 2 weeks. Stop it. Do not do that. You do that, you're a retail trader, and you're going to lose a lot of money. You do this and go, I'm not okay with that. Change the contracts. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Don't look at 19. Don't look at. I've asked Trade Monster for. I know John and Pete Najarian. They built this for years. I'm like, guys, just swap these. Do what we do. They're like, nah, it's bad for marketing. Okay, well, don't, because if you're not okay with the max risk, why the hell would you be okay with the max profit? Yeah, I want to make $1,900. Great. You want to lose $5,600? No. Then stop. Everybody understand that. That's critical. I am okay with that. And using at-the-money volatility, there's a 67% probability of at least getting that max profit. 69% probability of at least breaking even. And look at the break even. It's down there at 116.75, right around the bottom of that. Hey, I like this level. You guys like that? You bet, Johnny. Rosa Zuckerberg building a bunker, buying all houses around his. I saw that for protection. He wants open borders, but guess what? He's going to, you're right, buy all the houses around him and make sure nobody lives in them. He is a crazy liberal. Yeah, and the conservative posts, it's duh. It's so funny they denied. It's all these former employees like, yeah, we did all of that. Our internal investigation showed nothing. You're all a liar. You're all so all the ex-employees were lying just because they wanted to lie. It's whatever. Rosa, I have to separate my politics and my opinion on the guy from the stock. He's monetizing eyeballs, and he's made me and my subscribers a lot of money recently on Facebook. Let's go. What's our year-to-date? We're looking year-to-date. So this portfolio is doing really nice. Yeah, 28 grand. Always look at the red too, folks. VXX, those are hedges. Here's my one hand on the ejection seat. Oh, that sucks, Wiz. You lost that much money. I don't look at that as that. This is not losing money. Well, that's odd. It says negative and it's red. To me, in my mindset, I don't sit there and go, you know what, hey, Chief, take the ejection seat out of this Hornet today. I want 800 pounds more gas. No, thank you. Hedges, they're insurance. It's the cost of business as a trader, and it keeps me, keeps a smile on my face. Okay, so let me, real quick, let me show you, for those of you who are sitting there typing going, and Johnny, I appreciate your comments there. So write this down. go.topgunoptions.com/FT-monthly. FT means full throttle. Got to stick with my Navy terms here. And actually, you know what? You can, if you can't remember that, do FTM for full throttle monthly. I forgot it redirects to a page that is a shorter URL. Who the hell's running this place? You are. Well, I should have known that. So go.topgunoptions.com/FTM. And this is where you can get airborne with us here at TGO. The offensive track, we have a couple of different, we call tracks here at Top Gun Options. If you like trading weekly options, I just showed you a Facebook trade that made $1,800 in 4 days. That's awesome. If you want to trade weekly options along with everything else that we do, 8 weeks of training every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on different tactics, that's where you need to go. We also have what we call the defensive track. But you know what, Whiz? I ain't trading weekly options. They're a little fast. They're a little. Well, guess what? We have accelerated retirement. That's every Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. That's a great service to be in. We do long call diagonal, synthetic stock, all the way out to January of 2018. Okay, we're long on J.P. Morgan. We got China. I think we picked up Brazil recently as it is getting smacked around a little bit. The XLF, the financial ETF, Apple. Picked up some Apple. We're going to be bullish. I can show you how to be bullish all the way out to January of 2018. Pick a great stock that you want, and I'll show you how to get long-term bullish on it and potentially make a nice little stream of income each month by selling front month upside calls. And then if you want to do everything we have here at Top Gun Options, do the max afterburner package. And then underneath that, if you want to get an annual subscription, you can save some pretty serious coin. Some folks do it month to month to make sure we're not a ship of fools, and then get airborne with the annual subscription. They give us a call and say, hey, can I upgrade into annual? And then this is where we talk about the offensive track, the defensive track. It's kind of blown out, the description of it. And here's the full throttle training sessions that you get access to, the greets, vertical spreads, condors, calendars, every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. And it's Doug, the instructor, goes for an hour and a half, 2 hours. He's not leaving until everybody understands what that topic was tonight. So if you are new to options or you kind of know what you're doing, this is exactly where you need to be. And if you ever need to call us to sign up or have any questions, write down this number, 754-300-1084. That's 754-300-1084. Or you can email support@topgunoptions.com, and she'll take care of you there. Okay. Let me take a look, show you Apple, show you an Apple. I'm kind of running out of time. Sign up, and I'll show you a ton of Apple trades. It's really interesting. The financial media got a lot of this wrong last week, right? Warren Buffett did not buy Apple. If that's a shock to you, you probably watch CNBC. One of his lieutenants did. And as a matter of fact, a couple hours after his lieutenant bought some Apple, and people were like, "Oh my God, Warren Buffett bought Apple," and the stock popped, and everybody's going crazy trying to pile into it. He actually sent out a press release or an email, whatever he did. He said, "Hey, whoa! I didn't do that. One of my lieutenants did. I had no input on that decision," which is a little interesting for a commanding officer to publicly come out, and he didn't reprimand the guy, but he just wanted to know the world to know that he didn't. Here's why. He doesn't like tech. If you know anything about Warren Buffett, you would have, as soon as I saw that headline on CNBC, I'm like, there's no way Warren Buffett's an Apple. No way. One potato, two potato, Wall Street Journal. Everybody's like, no, hold on. Yeah, he didn't. So we'll talk about Apple. In my opinion, I used to be very, very, very long-term bullish on Apple. Now I'm only kind of bullish on Apple. It became Microsoft to me. It's not what it used to be. Okay, it's oh, I can't wait for the iPhone 19 to come out. No, I think the 23 will be even better. Who cares? Tim Cook needs to get on his innovation horse and start galloping. Otherwise, he's not going to be doing too well. All right, folks, so there was a bull put spread on Facebook. I showed you our methodology, our strategic, operational, and tactical methodology. I gave you a 7-step trade plan that we can use in combat. I didn't finish the whole trade plan with you on that trade because we ran out of time, but I would show you how to adjust it, how to eject, and do everything like that. And if you sign up, you can get access to this video, and you'll be able to see what the adjust and eject points are, okay? So head to go.topgunoptions.com/FTM. That's for full throttle monthly, and give us a test flight, folks, for a month and see what we do here at TGO. We're having an absolute blast trading this market, and I hope you are as well.